Hello everybody and welcome to the Weather Classroom on YouTube. This is a short tutorial of the Weather and Climate Toolkit put out by NOAA. And I'm putting this together for my students in radar and satellite meteorology, as well as for anyone else who happens to stumble upon the video. The current version of the software as of today, March 24th, 2020, is version 4.5.0, and it's available in Windows, Mac, or Linux operating system. And so if you click on this stable link, you get a download folder, zipped folder of the Weather and Climate Toolkit software. I'm going to cancel this because I've already downloaded it. And we'll go to that folder, which I've already unzipped. And you can see in the unzipped folder there's a couple of folders and a number of files, including wct.exe with the NOAA logo next to it in blue here. This is the application that runs the software, so double click on wct.exe or just the WCT application here. I'm using a Windows computer. And so the case we're going to look at really quickly with this software is a lake effect snow event from February 28th, 2020 over Lake Ontario, New York. And so we've got the Fort Drum radar selected here, and note that our date is Friday the 28th, 2020. This is in UTC time or GMT time, Greenwich Median Time, or Universal Time Coordinate Time, not local time. So make sure when you're selecting radar data that you're always using the time in London, England, not your local time in the US. We're on the NOAA Big Data tab here. There are other tabs allowing you to access data from your local disk. I have a drive and some radar data available here. Or you can order a HAS order or a class order through NCEI on the web and pick that data up and load it into the toolkit. We'll cover that in another tutorial. For now, we just want to list the files on the NOAA Big Data tab. So here's our list of files. So I'm going to scroll down and load maybe 16, sometime around 16 UTC here. And that's going to download the file, save it in a local temporary directory, and we pull up the radio properties dialog box. And so here's our radar data. See the cone of silence around the radar site right here, and our reflectivity data indicating the snow in green and lighter snow in blue, heavier snow in yellow. And so we're looking at the reflectivity. You can also look at other parameters. We'll talk about these some other time. You can change your elevation angle on the radio properties dialog box. You can also create a constant altitude plot. We're going to close this for now. One of the things I like to do is show counties and turn off the highways. And so if you go to the map layer selector here, you can add transparency to the data. You can smooth the data. You can turn off your legend here or to the right. I'm going to go to the overlay selector. I like to turn on the counties, and I often turn off the highways. Just creates a cleaner map for me to look at. You can turn on rivers if you like, or cities, airports, next radar sites. Background maps, I like the USGS shaded relief map in black and white. You have to refresh and it will download that map. See here it's transferring the file. And here's our shaded relief map. You can see the topography and the terrain underlying our radar map. Okay. We also have the View Properties dialog box and the View menu. You can control whether or not to add a NOAA logo anytime you export an animation or export a still image of radar data or satellite data or whatever data you happen to be looking at the time. It changes the font, and then you can also determine whether or not to use a temporary data cache and the location of that folder. I just use the default here. I don't change that, and I'll show you why in just a minute. There's links to find and order the data. Under the file menu, you can save an image, or you can copy the image to the clipboard to paste it to PowerPoint or Word. You can save a KMZ file for use in Google Earth. Let me show you how to zoom really quickly. You can just click and drag, and you'll zoom in on a certain location. If you have a mouse wheel, you can scroll the mouse wheel out or in, down or up, just to view out or in. Just be careful, because when you go to load data, there's this reset zoom box here that you want to be careful whether it's checked or not. If you zoomed in, then if you leave the reset zoom box checked, that will, I'll show you here, we load another frame, that'll reset your zoom to the original span of the radar site. And so we see we were zoomed into this box here, and by having the reset zoom box checked here, we were kind of zoomed back out and we lost our zoom box. So if you want to maintain that zoom, you want to uncheck the reset zoom box. You can animate data by selecting multiple frames. That was a shift click there. And animate. You can load the animation, or you can export the movie or the individual frames. You can also export a KMZ of the animation. It's available in animated GIF or AVI format. So suppose we export it. We choose our format of AVI or animated GIF. We save it. And so that's about all I wanted to show you with regard to the toolkit itself, as far as basic operation of the toolkit. But what I did want to show you is how to access these temporary files that you downloaded. So every time we load a data file and it turns green here, it's saved in our cache, and we can remove them from the cache. We can leave them there, and then we can go to the cache. So we can go to our local disk, our C drive, and then we can go to users, and then your username, and then WCT cache and data. We go to this folder here, it'll have the files that we had loaded. So here it's 2011 623 0040 for KENX, which is Albany, New York. We can right click and copy those files, and we can paste them in any directory, any radar directory, anywhere we want. And so that's how you can save those files from the temporary directory to a more permanent directory, and then you can load them with the local disk tab in the toolkit, or you can load them with GR2 Analyst or other radar software that's available to you. So that's all I wanted to cover in this tutorial. So thank you very much for listening, and be sure to check in again for other videos.